is Tom Gabriel Fischer, formerly of Melana and Celtic Frost, now Triptykon, and you're watching KSTV.
So, hey, how are you? And welcome to KSTV.
Thank you. Well, it's been a long trip, but it's good to be here.
Yeah, it's been a while when you've been last time here in Yellow Metal 2.
Right.
So
that was one of the best concerts we've ever played, or the audience was one of the best we ever had.
yeah, there's a lot of people now actually waiting. I've been seeing a lot of t-shirts there out. So, how do you like Finland, and have Finnish people treated you good now?
Absolutely. I would say Finland and the United Kingdom have been the best places for us in Triptykon's history to play. Even better than our home country, far better than our home country, Switzerland. So we've been looking forward very much to coming back here. I have no explanation why it is like that, but we've had such fantastic appearances here in Finland.
It's great to hear.
Well, we're very grateful. As I said, I really don't know why we are connecting so well with the Finnish audience, but it's happening.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're gonna ruin it tonight, who knows?
No. So, you released a single before now the full album in March, and the name Breathing of the single catched my attention. So, why was this song named Breathing, and why was it released?
Because it was written during a very difficult, very desperate time in my life. I'm trying to find the right words in a short interview like that, because it's a hugely complex story.
Yeah.
But there was just a point where I really no longer felt the will to live. But I basically found myself lying in the gutter, so to say.
Yeah.
But I was still breathing. There was still some life inside of me, even though I didn't want it. And I wrote the lyrics to that song at that time. It's 2 or 3 years ago. And why it was chosen as a single, we wanted to represent as much of the album as possible within just 2 songs. We wanted to give a glimpse of the album, so we chose a slow melodic song and a fast heavy song.
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult to represent Triptykon with just 1 song or 2 songs. So we just tried to show the extremes, hoping that the fans would realize that everything in between will also be there.
Yeah, that's great. And the new album, Melana Chasmata, was released in April. Is it now almost 4 months of the releasing? And what kind of feedback have you got from the album?
Astonishingly, the feedback has been fantastic. I myself, I really still don't know what to make of this album. I have a very critical view of the album, but so far I think it's gone down very well, which surprises nobody more than me.
Yeah. So yeah, like you said that you're much more critical for the album. So you said in one interview, and if I remember right, it was with Markus. You said that you're not totally satisfied with the guitar and drum sounds there.
No, there's many things I'm not totally satisfied with, which is odd because I usually don't release anything I'm not satisfied with. That's why I have control over everything. But we've been working on this album for like over 3 years, and there was just a point where we had to say it's finished now. Whether it's finished or not, we need to put it out. We cannot work forever on this album. It becomes detrimental.
Yeah.
If you work too long on an album, but for the first time since we worked together, Victor and me had kind of different approaches. He made a much more modern production than I would have preferred. I gave him the opportunity to do that because I'm not the only person in the world to listen to Triptykon, but I personally would have preferred a little more of a 70s vibe as far as drum sounds are concerned and so on. There's a lot of details that we had to find some kind of compromise.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with the next song.
Yeah.
I like an album to be atmospheric. I like the music, the instruments to breathe, that you can actually hear them. I don't want perfection. I don't want like a sound that's there and dense. I want something that sounds like you're standing right next to the instrument and you hear it squeaking and moving. That to me is metal, you know, when you can actually hear it.
Yeah.
Metal has to be anarchist, it has to be rough and at times even primitive.
Yeah, and I have to be really honest, I love music, but sounds like you are playing live all the time to hear it from my vinyls and everything. I love this real sound.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the music that we're playing. We're not playing death metal or anything like that. We play a different kind of music, and I think it's even more important with that kind of music.
Yes, because it's really intensive music that you make. So,
thank you.
And it comes really close to you when you hear it, and that's why I'm really waiting for the gig.
Well, it's not music that's made for samples or endless studio cutting. It's music that's much more organic.
Yeah, that's true. So how do you think Triptykon has developed musically and as a band from the start when you began then until now?
If you want the truth, I don't think it has. The band is still exactly the same as when we formed it. I didn't, you know, in Celtic Frost we were hugely experimental.
Yeah.
We wanted that. But I've done that.
Yeah.
And now I want to do something different. And I loved the music we created on the last Celtic Frost album, Monotheist. I was extremely happy with what we created there. So I wanted to form, when I left Celtic Frost, I wanted to form a band that keeps on creating that kind of music.
Yeah.
And because I love it, I don't want to change it all the time. When I was much younger and filled with testosterone and you wanted to go out as a young man, prove yourself to the world, you know, the whole macho bullshit. Then I wanted to show on every album, yeah, we're this, and we're this too. But I've done all that, and I'm much older now, I'm hopefully more mature, and I love this kind of music. It's just going to make it as good as possible, and hopefully do as many good albums as possible.
Yeah, yeah, you got it in the right point actually with this music. So as we well know everyone that you love art, and it's really big thing for you in many ways, and with the music especially. And but if it would be this kind of point that you couldn't sing or you couldn't play, what kind of art could you do then?
The art of suicide. If I've tried that once when Celtic Frost first fell apart in the early 1990s, and we had been in endless legal difficulties throughout the 1980s with the music industry and with our record company back then. Celtic Frost fell apart, and I was so fed up with all of that that I no longer wanted to work in the music industry, and I tried to leave the music industry and I couldn't. After a year and a half or so, I discovered that I no longer could go to concerts because it hurt me. I wanted to create music. It's insane. And if I couldn't do it for some reason, then there wouldn't be a reason for my existence on this planet.
Yeah.
This is what keeps me here. What else is there on this planet that's enjoyable? This is a planet full of war, of lies, of murder, of animal abuse, of destroying nature.
Yeah.
Music's the only thing that I'm enjoying on this planet. So if music's taken from me, then I have no place on this planet. I'll let human beings do whatever they think they need to do on this planet. But that's not my way of my idea of life.
Yeah. So with music, you want to bring your own thoughts too much to the people that they.
No, that's too much. That sounds like I'm a missionary. I'm simply putting my emotions into music.
Yeah.
It's a very personal thing. If somebody loves what we're doing, then I'm very happy, but that's a coincidence. The music I write is extremely personal. It's simply an expression of what I feel. And I can never design whether somebody will like it or not. It's a coincidence. If the emotions of the audience connect with your emotions, that's a coincidence. You cannot plan for that.
Yeah. But about this, your music videos, how are they repressing in your music, and how do you like to do them?
Well, I have always certain visuals, ideas, even when I write the music.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky that we have found a director after looking forever. A few years ago, we found a director who completely understands what we're doing, who's even able to bring in his own ideas which match ours, and then together we can create something very special, I think. The music videos simply represent a lot of the vibe of the lyrics, which, of course, given what I said before, my opinion of the state of the world is rather dark.
Yeah,
and that's what the videos represent. But of course, we tried to express it in an artful way. There's been like 10 million videos with a band standing in an empty factory hall, windmilling. So I really don't want to do the 10 millionth and one video with that. I'm completely impressed with German expressionism in the 1920s. And our videos so far have used that kind of approach.
Yeah.
We'll see what we have filmed another video that's not been released yet. That's a performance video, but it's also very dark.
Yeah.
But what happens after that, we'll see. We'll see what direction. I don't want to do this forever. I don't want to repeat it all the time. So we'll see what happens with the next video.
Yeah. So you have had a long journey of music, and how do you feel, and what do you think about the nowadays music business?
It's a bit saturated, isn't it? There's so many bands and so much technology and everything that the whole scene, the whole market has become completely overfilled with product. And music has become a product, unfortunately. A lot of time it's just factory work and no longer art.
Yeah.
And that's a bit disappointing. I would prefer. I'm very hesitant to say this because I don't want people to think I live in the past, because I don't. But there were certain things in the past that I preferred. For example, when there was still the old model of the music industry, you would have to have a lot of talent, a lot of stamina, a lot of discipline, a lot of professionalism, a lot of creativity to even make it to the point where you could release something. And that process would weed out bands that didn't really have a place in the scene. Nowadays, everybody can just release whatever they want, and everybody has a project. And when I see on Facebook alone all the stuff that's out there, and people call it my band, my project, and I listen to it, and I'm like, oh my God. This in the 1980s, when there was still some kind of mechanism to sort things out, this stuff wouldn't have even made it to the demo stage. But there's just like millions of these things.
Yeah, it's really, with digital music, I think it's really easy nowadays.
I mean, you know, we use all the digital technology too. That's why I'm careful in saying all of that.
Yeah.
It's just the sheer mass of things, because everybody thinks, yeah, I'm a band too, whether they have talent or not.
Yeah.
They release all their stuff, and then it becomes very difficult for fans to actually find the jewels in this whole mass.
Yeah.
There are good bands, but you know, how are you going to find them if there's like 10 million band names? You don't have the time and the money to ever find them.
That's true. So, what can we expect from the coming show today in Yellow Metal?
Your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea.
So we'll see and hear it.
It's difficult when you do a show like this, and we've been flying. We flew in today from England, so we don't have our own backline here. We don't have our own equipment.
Yeah.
So you're basically at the mercy of a lot of things that you cannot control.
Yeah.
So unless we're here with all our own stuff, I cannot give you a prediction.
Yeah.
I'll find out when I step on stage how it sounds and what it looks like and everything. Then we'll talk afterwards and tell you what to expect.
Okay.
I want to know too what I can expect tonight, but I don't know yet.
Yeah.
We'll do our best, of course.
Yeah, that I'm sure. And I heard this that you love skateboarding.
Yeah, of course. Since 1978.
Yeah. How did you come? Like.
How do I what?
Where did you find skateboarding? How did you start this?
Well, in the mid 1970s, there was a huge wave of skateboarding in the United States, and in Switzerland. Switzerland was a really isolated country at the time. It kind of still is, you know.
Yeah.
But me and my only friend at the time, we came across an American skateboard magazine, and we were fascinated by all of that. And we actually had to really search to find a place where you can actually buy skateboards, and it was very expensive. It took us forever to get there, to get the skateboard. But we simply loved riding skateboards. So from that very minute beginning, we eventually went to the United States just to skate for a summer. We slept on our skateboards. We had no money, so we spent everything on the flight, and then we slept on our skateboards and spent the whole day skateboarding in skate parks and everything. And It's stuck with me ever since I was a teenager, which by now is an eternity.
Yeah, so it's a really good memory for you, and you get this really good feeling of it.
It's the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't skate the way I used to skate, of course. I hardly ever go into a half pipe these days, but I street skate all the time, and I love longboards,
Yeah.
which was something much more rare in the early days, but now there's so many longboards, and I love that.
Yeah, they're easy to go with. Actually.
Well, it depends what you're doing, but I just love like the aesthetics and the quality of the ride of a longboard. It's much more stable. It's a little more dignified, and I think that's okay for my age. I've done all the wild things.
Yeah, that's great. So, thank you for the interview and your time. I know you're a busy man, so...
Yeah, but thank you for very good questions. Well, when I was at Bloodstock, they have like a press tent, and there's like 20 journalists waiting for you, each doing 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And each of them doing the same superficial questions, the same 5 questions. And after a while, it just becomes really boring. This was very different. So after doing Bloodstock, I really appreciate it.
Well, I've been so nervous because